In the heart of Adelaide, Australia, a sound was born that refused to play by the rules. A sound forged in the underground, where horror met hip-hop and theatrical chaos collided with raw emotion. That sound belonged to one man, KidCrusher. Emerging in the mid-2000s, KidCrusher began as a voice from the shadows, masked, menacing, and unapologetically unique. His music blended rap, metal, and horrorcore into a visceral experience, creating an entire universe of rage, pain, and rebellion. From the first scream into a microphone, he made one thing clear. This was never about fame. It was about expression. Across 2 decades, KidCrusher carved his legacy with albums like Cannibal Clown, Metal Murder 3D, and Distorted Dimension. Each release a blood-stained diary of a man unafraid to confront the monsters within, and invited his listeners to do the same. But behind the mask lies an artist, a producer, performer, and storyteller who built an empire from nothing. To his fans, he's more than an entertainer. He's a symbol of resilience, of survival, of art that doesn't ask for permission.
I'm a killer that be talking behind you. Even if you run, you know that I'ma find you. Think about death, think about brain. Take another blade, find another one to blame. I'm a killer that be talking behind you. Even if you run, you know that I'ma find you. Think about death, think about brain. Take another blade, find another one to blame.
His movement gave a voice to the outcasts, the misfits, and those who found beauty in the dark. Through evolving styles, from horrorcore and nu metal to industrial rap and cinematic soundscapes, KidCrusher's sound has remained a testament to authenticity. 20 years on, his influence continues to ripple through the Australian underground. This is the story of KidCrusher, the man who turned pain into poetry, a legend of the underground, a voice that refuses to be silenced. Get ready to meet the monster.
Hey, my name's Alan, aka Buddy the Clown from Germany, and this is my KidCrusher collection.
I found KidCrusher through my parents' music, and I've been listening to him for about 6 months now. He's helped me through some problems like anger and depression.
I've been suicidal, and he basically kept me from killing myself before. I don't even know if he knows that.
I was 13 or 14. I had KidCrusher playing 24/7, and I didn't have many friends, and it changed my life. It gave me a type of confidence to where I actually became a popular kid in school.
30 years old now. I'm a lifelong musician. Probably 16, 17 years old, I sent you some of my work. You were the very first person in the industry to speak to me like a human being. It had a lasting impact on me, and I really appreciate you.
Wasn't for these 3 albums, I wouldn't have this.
I don't know you. You don't know me. But you were kind to me.
I even got a tattoo at one point that I can't wait. It's going to be, have some purple and blue flames in it and get touched up very soon. I cannot wait for that.
Yeah, you were just a big part of my life, man. I want to say thank you.
A fabulous musician, and he will talk to you about anything because he cares about his fans, and most people don't anymore.
But I was blown away. I was just like, yeah, this, because I'm a metalhead. Just also being a horrorcore fan, I'm a big metalhead. And this fusion of the two was something I could really get on board with.
His music was able to influence me in some of the darkest times of my life.
KidCrusher has been a huge part of my life.
It's just meant a lot to me to be able to, not only watch an artist like KidCrusher grow and develop, but to sort of be there by his side for some of the moments.
He's an underground artist, and he's done that with himself. It's some pretty hard work, especially in Australia, to get recognised for what he's doing. And he's got a pretty mad following. We've had some very cool shows.
So cool shows.
Some very cool crowds. And yeah.
I think he's God.
I think he's God.
I think he's God. That's not blasphemy if it's true.
KidCrusher is someone who's tackled a very niche genre, a very difficult genre for where he's based globally. The fan base from all over the world is testament to the music that he's been able to put out.
I first heard his Dirty Fucking Murder when I was probably about 14, 13. I'm 31 now, and it's been a long time.
I remember the first time hearing KidCrusher was whenever Psychopathic Records dropped the Tunnel Runners compilation. His song, Fucked Up, was just unlike anything else on that project.
We're both huge KidCrusher fans. Our friendship has been based on KidCrusher. We've been to 3 or 4 concerts. Every time we've met him, he's been an awesome person. He's a great inspiration to us as a person and musically.
We all got like stereotype, and I kept playing that song heavily medicated. It just made me feel that I wasn't alone in this world.
It was metal-infused wicked shit and just really something I had never fucking heard before, and I thought it was hella fresh.
I would try my hardest to imitate him, horribly rapping like KidCrusher to these shitty YouTube metal beats.
We even have multiple CDs and DVDs. And when my best mate was in hospital, he talked to him personally while he was in hospital and had a great conversation with him.
Distorted Dimensions, one of my top albums of 2018 fucking period.
I say, excite my lot more than once.
If it weren't for KidCrusher, I wouldn't be who I am and where I am today, and I am so thankful.
Netfest on your couch. That was the best. KC was on it. It was awesome.
Thank you, KidCrusher, from the bottom of my heart for being a part of my life in such a profound way. Your legacy will live on in a very meaningful way.
Love the gig. It's fucking inspiring. It's inspiring to a fucking Aussie juggalo to hear some real shit from the fucking under the equator, you know what I'm saying? Like, there for life. Every CD you bring out, I'ma buy it.
It's a tunnel runner from underground.
Fucking KidCrusher!
KidCrusher, all the way from Australia, he sends a crushing blow that sailed across 7 seas and lands directly on the bridge of your nose.
Great KidCrusher, man. That's my boy. I ain't hollered in for a everybody tell him I said what the fuck is up, man. I miss his ass. That's my boy, man, KidCrusher. Australia in the hell.
He be popping in.
That's my boy,
to our
man.
stream sometimes.
Hell yeah, good for him.
Cool as shit.
Australian alien, KidCrusher, ready to break your face in half and take your ears to a heavenly place that he calls home. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, put your motherfucking hands together and give it up for the one and the only KidCrusher.
KidCrusher. My homie, Australian, I kicked it with the dude, KidCrusher, my dude.
For sure.
He was playing every show with me when I went out there the first and only time I've been to Australia. He is one cool dude. And I will let you know, bro, KidCrusher is as tall as a baller, bro. He's like 6'7", bro. This dude is tall as fuck. I'm like, KidCrusher, that's my dude, man. Much love.
Yo, what up, man? Give me some motherfucking mushroom, man, with KidCrusher in the fucking house. It's prepared. It's coming, motherfuckers.
Crusher's been holding it down for the juggalo scene for as long as I could remember. And man, Crusher's just always been a real one. The dude is holding it down for all of us out there. So, hey, shout out to KidCrusher.
For as far as I can remember, and I've been doing this professionally for 26 years, anytime horrorcore, juggalo music in Australia all come up in the sentence, instantly a light bulb goes off when you think of KidCrusher. Pretty much everything he's done over the years and shit has been pretty fucking fire, and it's always been a pleasure working with him. United Underground worldwide. The shit will never die. Else.
KidCrusher, crazy motherfucker. Shit's crazy. It's epic. It's amazing. Freaking mind-blowing. Nuts. This motherfucker mixes dubstep and metal step in a crazy mixed up array of mind-fuckedness. It's nuts. It blows your mind. First off, he comes from Australia, the birthplace of like hardstyle and fucking DEFCON 1 and the biggest rave in the world. Learn your facts, dude. Of course the dude's gonna put dubstep in his shit. Like, I mean, fuck, do you expect anything other than what you're not expecting from him? I'd just be like, yo, KidCrusher, Take my money, man. I love dubstep. I love metal. I love wicked shit. Throw that all together, you get KidCrusher. From a rating between 1 and 10, I definitely have to rate this CD like Triangle or Zebra or fucking amazing. Like fucking Sasquatch getting found with herpes. It's just amazing. It's high, it's good, it's awesome, it's epic. Find him on Facebook, stalk the little fucker. I don't care. He's worth it. Be a creeper. Fucking poke him. If you're a dude, poke him. Poke him on Facebook just to make him feel uncomfortable because this CD makes you feel uncomfortable. In a good way.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, your host, KidCrusher. And his special guest, Bob Zombie.
Honestly, I don't think anybody likes you, man.
To those discovering KidCrusher for the first time, he is an Australian horrorcore musician who emerged in 2005. Horrorcore itself is a collision of horror-themed hip-hop and extreme metal, built on dark, fictional storytelling, more like a horror film than a traditional music genre. Across his career, KidCrusher has released 28 independent studio albums, some of which with bands he has been part of simultaneously. While his primary role is vocalist, he is also a producer, guitarist, and drummer, often handling every layer of his music himself. KidCrusher is a man who wears many hats, a one-man band, shifting from recording albums to producing beats, building websites, running his own merchandise store, booking tours, and handling promotion. Not out of ego, but necessity. With limited budgets and unreliable support, he taught himself every aspect of managing his own brand. Powered by an online fan base, KidCrusher began to turn heads beyond the underground. With millions of streams on Spotify, hard-hitting music videos that shook the underground, and thousands of records sold, KidCrusher became a force impossible to ignore.
Take break, ripping up a motherfucker like a tortured orgasm. Go orgasm, motherfucker, do you fear me? When you see me, with the scars on my face and the blood dripping from my lips, I will find a hole and fuck it. If there ain't one, I will make one. Make motherfuckers piss in the fucking panties. Scream to some man, please, back on their knees, please. I got the stomach and I'm ripping out the kidneys and I'm sucking on the vomit, then I spit it back at you. I'ma fuck you one a day to die the day you try, you get missed in the pie.
I'm KidCrusher.
I'm Bob Zombie.
And we are
Wild Stallions!
Wait a minute. No, we're not.
Creating KidCrusher was a spontaneous thing. He remembered it vividly, a mixture of a few powerful emotions all colliding at once. He was angry at the world and at most of the people around him. He was battling depression and couldn't find a way to fix it. Most of all, he didn't fit in anywhere. Over time, he found somewhere he actually wanted to be, a culture of music that felt like home. It wasn't about copying anyone or being some obsessive fan. He wanted to fly the flag, to promote it, to be part of it. He never wanted the main stage. He was happy being the support act. He didn't want to replace anyone or be bigger. He wanted to stand behind them, a small part of the Psychopathic roster. To him, it was a home, a place where he felt accepted, somewhere he could be himself and not what everyone else expected him to be. Insane Clown Posse saved his life, and he never felt like he could repay that. Not that they needed him to, because like them, he made music that made people feel better. The strange thing was, he never planned for that. His music wasn't designed to help anyone. It was designed for him, to let his anger out, to scream, to break glass until he felt something again. He never offered a solution in his songs. They were heavy, dark, and negative. But people related to that because they felt the same. Angry, hurt, screwed over by shitty people and situations again and again. Music numbed the pain. He wasn't the type to go out and be as awful as the people who'd wronged him. He just wanted them to stay far away. The world had tortured him too long. It broke him, almost killed him. That's when KidCrusher was born, an alter ego, a monster built from the people who'd beaten him down. "Call me Stanley Ipkiss," he said, "and KidCrusher is my Loki mask." Underneath, he was still the same broken person, but KidCrusher had power, pride, a badass mother who didn't take crap from anyone, cooking up an all-you-can-eat buffet of the craziest music anyone could hear. All his life, he'd imagined an artist he wanted to discover, but never could find. He was heavily inspired by Insane Clown Posse, of course, but he craved darker music. He'd always loved when bands contributed horror-themed songs to movie soundtracks. The spooky, cinematic storytelling drew him in more than any standard album could. He was a movie fanatic before anything else. To him, every KidCrusher album was like a soundtrack. He'd always craved that crazy, dark, energetic vibe in music, but could never find it. So he created it himself, proudly calling himself the R-rated superstar. As he once put it, "Slap a parental advisory explicit lyric sticker on my face, motherfucker. Shit's about to get crazy."
When we're about to go on stage, I mean, there's something that I don't think many people have seen, but it's part of your professionalism that kind of shines through that I have sort of observed myself. It happens every time before we go on stage, but he kind of turns off. It's like he disappears and becomes something else, like he becomes KidCrusher. It's like he puts his head down and he just snaps, and then once he hits the stage, it just explodes. Like it's almost like he's there transitioning into this different character, becoming KidCrusher out of like, because generally he's a relatively reserved, pretty calm person, you know, outside of the on-stage theatrics and stuff like that. But once KidCrusher kicks in, it's just, there it is.
They appeared on Psychopathic Records' own Tunnel Runners album. You all know who the fuck I'm talking about. They are very much a part of the Juggalo family. Y'all give up mad fucking Juggalo love to your very own KidCrusher! Say what? How many times have I done it before? I'll be pulling my weight, and I'm not asking for yours. I'm never getting no pity from anybody above. I'm at the bottom of a blessed pit, bouncing y'all, come on.
What up, y'all? Violent J, the Duke of the Wicked here, one half of the Insane Clown Posse, to talk about my boy KidCrusher. I gotta tell you, I became friends with KidCrusher years before I got to actually play with him in Australia. And I always have respect for him. I've always had respect for his drive, for his hunger in this game, for his passion in this game. But I tell you, once I got to Australia and we did those shows together, I had a brand new respect for the man. When I saw the hold he has over those fans, when I saw the fucking intense love they had for him as he ripped that stage in half, it really opened my eyes and was inspiring for us. It was inspiring and difficult because he's a hard act to follow, you know what I'm saying? And I gotta tell you, following him up was no easy peasy shit, man. That man is thorough about what he does. And I want to congratulate him, but am I surprised he's still killing it after 20 years? No. When somebody like him, when they have that much karma and that much strength and ability in what he does, is still going after 20 years, it doesn't honestly surprise me, because I knew he was meant to do this. I knew this was in his DNA, this hip hop game, you know? And I'm glad to see he's healthy and still killing it and doing what he does. And I'm looking forward to when we come back very soon to rock those stages again. And I'm up for the challenge of trying to follow my man up. Me and Shaggy both will definitely step our game up. Every night, now that we know, we're gonna bring the thunder as hard as we can to follow that man up. You know what I'm saying? Because he has a hold on Australia, and everywhere he goes, give him time and he will infect it with his flavor. And it's a good flavor and you'll love it. So if I had a hat on, it would go off to fucking KidCrusher. Much love. Whoop, whoop.
What are you doing?
Welcome to the Black Coast Whiskey and Bottle Show.
Where am I pointing? Oh, right. No,
Right there. I'll lift you up.
Don't lift me up.
Behind the mask, Sean was nothing like the character the world knew as KidCrusher. On stage and in his lyrics, he was the unhinged villain, the serial killer clown, the chaotic psychopath, the nightmare-given voice. But off the microphone, he was the complete opposite. Funny, quiet, thoughtful, a reserved yet deeply passionate artist. KidCrusher was born out of imagination. Designed to be the ultimate psycho, he was a character who crossed every line, but only in fiction. To perfect that persona, Sean immersed himself in the study of criminal psychology, watching documentaries and reading about mass murderers and cannibals. Not out of admiration, but curiosity. For him, it was research. The horror was a performance. He wanted to shock and awe audiences, having them want to hear more. He often explained, "You pay to watch Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees for entertainment. This is no different. My music is cinematic. It's a horror soundtrack for a thrill. When the camera yells cut, none of those actors are real killers. They're just people playing a part." But in 2009, tragedy struck. In Farmville, Virginia, a young man named Richard Alden Samuel McCroskey, known online as Psycho Sam, committed a brutal quadruple homicide. Sam had interacted with Sean online, buying his CDs and promoting his music. When the case broke, the media was quick to connect KidCrusher to the killings. The story grew so large it inspired an episode of Law & Order, portraying KidCrusher's music as the motive behind the crime.
How did I meet KidCrusher? It was definitely a very long time ago. I would probably say I was maybe 14, 15. And once I started listening to his music, man, I was just hooked immediately. Once I started doing web and graphics for him, and we became somewhat business partners. I was doing all his flyers and web designs, graphic designs, CDs, and stuff like that. And I was also a promoter for his team. And our friendship just developed over that period of time. Not only am I a fan of his music, but he in fact inspired elements to my own music and influenced some of my shit as well. So KidCrusher is definitely in my top 3 favorite artists of all time. As far as the Law & Order episode goes, I'm pretty sure we could all agree that NBC has one-sided views and they don't care about the facts. They simply care about selling you a fabricated story that's based on some basic true events, which is personally why I never accepted any kind of deal to do an interview pertaining to my case. It's because the media wants to spin all images to fit their narrative. They don't really care about the actual facts, so you know, that's why they blame music for the motivation of my case and the Law & Order episode. You know, they always try to find a scapegoat. then they probably would have blamed it on horror movies or violent video games. If they didn't know the answer to what happened, well, I don't even know what the answer is. I don't know the motive. So if I don't know the motive, how are they supposed to know the motive? But I know for a fact it wasn't the music. If anything, the music is what pacified my demons, and that's what kept me from exploding many, many times in the past. So, people are gonna react a certain way, we're animals, man. So, long story short, it was definitely not the music, it was something else, so.
KidCrusher later spoke publicly about the case. I was shocked and saddened by what happened. The show used my name to mock juggalos, to paint us all as killers. That's like saying anyone who watches a horror movie is a killer too. Reflecting on his beginnings, he once said, "When I started horrorcore, I was just 17. Watching horror films was a thrill, and pretending to live that out through music was pure fiction. I've never had any desire to hurt anyone. Honestly, I feel bad stepping on a fucking ant." For Sean, KidCrusher was never a reflection of who he was, but a mirror held up to fear itself, a performance mistaken for confession.
A lot of people always also say to me, "Why ain't I face painting at the moment?" There's a big reason why, like I see a lot of artists like say Psychopathic always got to paint up to do with himself. But KidCrusher to me is basically another person to me, and when I take the face paint off, I like to show the maturity of it. I'm not crazy, I'm not insane. And it's its own thing, like when I put the face paint on, I transform to something else and do something crazy. You kind of see it in me all the time. I kind of snap every now and then, do a little different voice or something.
KidCrusher is a prime example of the saying, "Don't judge someone by their cover," because behind the paint lies a completely different person. But like his fans, few truly know him in real life. Let me introduce you to Sean Montague. Born and raised in the northern suburbs of Adelaide, South Australia, his family name, before marriage, traces back to the Byrne family. Irish in origin, with a notable link to Joe Byrne, the Australian bushranger and member of the Kelly gang, known as Ned Kelly's right-hand man. Sean was the youngest of 3 children, born in October 1986. But tragedy struck early. His father, Michael, died in a tragic accident when Sean was just 8 months old. Raised by his mother, a widow with 3 young children, Sean wouldn't learn the full story of his father's death until years later. From a young age, Sean's first obsession was movies, but music was always close behind. His early inspirations came from artists like Criss Cross, Michael Jackson, and the Tales from the Hood soundtrack. By the mid-90s, he had picked up a microphone and guitar, forming his first rap duo around 1996. He remembers recording on a 2-deck cassette deck with a mic attached, freestyling over hip-hop. They recorded 2 albums on cassette and even filmed a few music videos. After a few years, the group disbanded, and Sean stepped away from music until 2002. High school introduced him to the world of metal. With no bandmates to play instruments, Sean downloaded metal instrumentals and began screaming into a mic. While others played basketball at lunch, he locked himself in the school music room to rehearse. He excelled in music and computing, but failed nearly everything else. Not because he couldn't learn, but because he didn't want to waste time on what didn't fuel his creativity. Music and film were his oxygen. At home, he was constantly designing websites, writing lyrics, and watching movies. But his passion sometimes got him in trouble. Teachers discovered him writing lyrics in class and dragged him to the principal's office. They read his lyrics aloud to his mother, a moment meant to shame him. Instead, it became a memory he'd laugh about for years. Still, beneath the humor, something darker was brewing. By his mid-teens, Sean began to suffer from depression, the result of bullying, failed friendships, and heartbreak. The once bright, joking kid of the 90s started to fade, and one day he broke. He later said, "Depression isn't a joke or an easy way out. I hated myself. I didn't want to die, but I didn't want to live either. I just wanted to sleep, to disappear from a room full of people who hated my guts. It felt like I stepped outside my body and started beating the living hell out of myself." Therapy and medication followed, but they only left him numb, a zombie drifting through school until he eventually dropped out. To channel his anger, Sean threw himself into something wild: backyard wrestling. He became obsessed with WCW, WWF. The famous warning, "Don't try this at home," didn't stop him. He began wrestling in his backyard, his friends' yards, even school ovals, eventually hiring real boxing rings. He created his own wrestling federation. "I was like a crash dummy," he recalled. "Breaking glass gave me a rush." For 4 years, Sean poured his life into XBA. But as friends drifted away, crowds thinned, and the dream faded. He tried professional wrestling for a short time, but when promoters refused his love for weapon matches, he walked away. During this time, something else caught his attention. Something that would change his life forever. On television, he discovered a wrestling duo known as the Insane Clown Posse. The crowd booed them, but Sean was captivated, drawn to their chaos, their energy, their "we don't care" attitude. When he learned they were also musicians, curiosity took hold. In an era before streaming, their music wasn't easy to find. But one day at a local CD shop, Sean went looking for the WCW Mayhem soundtrack. And right next to it, he saw the amazing Jekyll Brothers album. He recognized the artwork immediately from the shirts ICP wore on TV. He bought both CDs that day, and from that moment, he was hooked. After leaving the backyard wrestling scene, Sean picked the microphone back up. This time, he recorded under the name The Chronic Sinner. He never performed live, never mass-produced CDs. It was purely for the love of creating. He'd burn discs, listen in his room, or play them at parties just to say, "I made that." Soon, a few metal musicians took notice of his screaming vocals. Together, they formed a cover band called Rectal Birth. After months of rehearsals, they booked a slot in a local battle of the bands. But one by one, every band member pulled out. Sean went to the promoter and asked if he could still perform. Solo. He ran home, grabbed some instrumentals, and returned to perform a rap set instead. He was the only act at the Battle of the Bands without a band. Although Rectal Birth fizzled out, Sean's drive didn't. He was still chasing a fusion, metal and rap combined. By the mid-2000s, after hearing new albums from Insane Clown Posse like Hell's Pit and Dark Lotus, Sean felt inspired to form a supergroup. He called it Subterra, Latin for underground. Their debut, Lonely Depression's Desire, featured 7 members and production from free online beats by Mikey Clark. The group soon slimmed down to 3 committed members, recording Chronicles of the Reluctant later that year. They played small local gigs and shot a music video, but by the end, only one member remained, KidCrusher. After Subterra dissolved, and with the metal chapter behind him, Sean was ready for something new. He didn't want his years of work to vanish. He wanted to evolve, to transform everything he'd learned into a new persona. He remembered, "I felt this gravitational pull toward the juggalo community." Around that time, ICP were holding an online contest for rappers to submit songs. "I wanted to enter so bad, but I knew I wasn't ready. If ICP and the Juggalos were going to hear me, it had to be epic," he recalled. And then came the spark. "I think I blame Killa C for me painting my face," he said. There were already people like ABK, Boondocks, Blaze, and Twisted signed to Psychopathic Records. I wanted to be next in line. That's where the story of KidCrusher truly begins. Sean never set out to be a solo artist. His dream was to lead a band, or to be part of a rap group, surrounded by like-minded people who shared his passion and drive. But time after time, the motivation, positivity, and commitment he carried on his shoulders weren't returned. People fell away, projects stalled, and Sean grew tired of waiting, tired of restarting. This was his reboot. After the collapse of his wrestling crew, he found himself isolated, but also focused. The loneliness sharpened his determination. He didn't overthink it. He simply moved with instinct, almost as if something inside him had taken control. There was a mission now, personal, defiant, unstoppable. He wanted to prove his worth and to silence those who doubted, betrayed, or laughed at him. They'd missed their chance. He wasn't recruiting anymore. Then sometime in 2005, Sean, under his new name, KidCrusher, wrote and recorded a track called A Dirty Fucking Murder. That same night, he filmed a video in his backyard, and before the sun rose, he'd edited and uploaded it online. It was raw, unplanned, and completely spontaneous. A simple demo to mark his return. But what happened next took him by surprise. Within 24 hours, the video exploded across the internet, shared on forums, mocked by some, celebrated by others. Over 500,000 visitors flooded his new website, all wanting to see who this masked madman was. Many laughed, many tore him apart. But once the dust settled, fans began to appear. And for Sean, those numbers, love or hate, meant one thing. People were finally watching. He didn't see the backlash as failure, he saw it as fuel. And by the end of that same year, KidCrusher released his first full album, Light to Dark and Life to Death.
KidCrusher, where do we begin? 20 years ago, helping run a little studio. He booked in to come record the album Tormented Mutation. Didn't really know much about him, honestly. Come to find out, one talented motherfucker, really good guy. Helped record a bit of that album. The guy just never stopped working.
There's no one more focused. He'll get a project, like he'll be starting to work on an album, and that's all it'll become. It'll just be day in, day out. He will be working, perfecting each and every single thing. Ever since I've known the guy, it's just been rolling it out.
The work ethic of this guy, absolutely amazing. Never stops working. I mean, till this day, he's got other avenues. He's still working nonstop. To come from this little old bumfuck town, Adelaide, just, yeah, amazing to pull off what he did.
It's 3 in the morning. What the fuck did I just listen to?
I mean, just the awe factor of like, holy fuck, this is an underground artist doing this?
Honestly, I found myself enjoying this album when I thought I wouldn't. Soon enough, the lyrics start becoming more and more catchy, and you find yourself headbanging or at least bobbing your head.
One of Australia's most cannibalistic, most insane, most craziest, one of the most death-defying, most extraordinary. His name is motherfucking KidCrusher.
I don't even think Dark Lotus will have shit on this. I'm being serious, like this is so fucking amazing.
The speed, like his whole flow, everything just went insane. The beats were fucking like just hard-hitting, aggressive, just fucking full-blown metal.
For those who don't know who KidCrusher is, he's an Australian juggalo artist, and he is damn awesome.
He's very, very good at what he does. I'm very impressed by that. And he is a creepy-looking bastard as well. But I'm sure he's a really nice guy, but you know, the way he sings and, you know, the speed that he's putting out these lines, it's quite impressive. I can barely say them, and I'm talking at a normal speed. I wasn't sure what to expect going into this. When I read that information about him, I was very, very curious, and now I think I need to check out more of his music.
So sick in my mind from 9 to 5. So sick, I don't know if I'm alive. I've been creeping in my sleeping and I'm coming in the motherfucking window when I'm gonna stick my dick in there. Fuck a bitch in the sleep, cut the body up and everybody caught him a keep. I'm a cannibal, animal, vicious and I get them all 6 feet deep underground, real animal, I'm a poltergeist, a paranormal entity, you ain't get rid of me. I'm your nightmare, Freddy Boogeyman, bitch, get your body like a wicked one, I'm waiting for the this kill is here. Fuck up your face. What's up, Patreon? How the fuck you doing tonight? Fight the fucking and the day drifts on, and I wonder why I'm an alien living in a world full of hungry vultures, killing big kill. I don't understand. I'm heavily medicated, so I don't have to think about it. I'm all alone in this world, away from you. The suffering within me, this pain I cannot describe.
Thank you. Need a rest now. It's a new one, he hasn't done it live. Yeah, no one's heard that song yet. That's great, yeah, it's good stuff.
If you were to ask anybody in the 90s in my classes in primary school where they would have seen me in 20 years, and they would just said something stupid like the circus, that guy's an absolute goofball, and I would say like absolutely I was not the popular kid. Looking back on who I used to be is sad because, I could see how happy I was. And I remember that feeling, I was always happy with things and always trying to make people laugh. And it seemed to piss a lot of people off, and I got destroyed. And that's just what the world does, it absolutely destroys people. And you gotta be strong. And if you're not strong, then life will absolutely crush you. So really, yeah, I do give credit to the world and the people who treated me wrongly for creating this monster. That is KidCrusher. It's surreal to me. It has a life of its own. And I 100% agree, it's not me. I was having fun. This was making me feel better when I was feeling bad. I spend a lot of time on my computer, and a lot of people always say to me, like, how do you get all that work done? Because it's not work to me. I grew up on a computer and I love being on a computer, so it's not work to me. It's literally just like playing PlayStation to me. I just couldn't stop if I wanted to. It just kept going. And for that perspective, it's really hard because especially the amount of material that I released, it's just like, how do you continue to deliver a product that's not, exactly the same every time? Because, especially with KidCrusher, it's usually all about killing someone and make it different every time. It's just ridiculous. Like, I tried to reinvent myself all the time. And of course, there's songs in there that, of course, you can tell that are not speaking from KidCrusher. It's my own personal, those are Sean songs, and you can hear those. If you really just focus and listen to the lyrics or the topics of the songs, there's KidCrusher songs and there's Sean songs. And of course, then there's the Grinch.
Dude, I fucking love the Grinch. When he does the Grinch, it's great. I love the Grinch.
This bitch I wanna burn. Only devils and demons be fucking hovering within. So I fly above. It's all piss and gasoline. So they think it's gonna rain. And I light it. Kablam! Going through remains of blinded bodies and damn, finding all kinds of shit that Satan wanted, man. Even that big bitch has been good this year. So I'm dropping dead bodies at the gates of hell. I'm not a demon or doing devil's dirty work. I'm just sick of this world that we live in. All these people in the public should be positive, or sure get the jigsaw. Everybody, do you wanna play a game? Or do you wanna kick back and get blazed? Chill the fuck out. Do unto others, or I'll be cooking your family.
I relate a lot to the Grinch. I've always loved him. I think everyone loves the Grinch, you know, the Jim Carrey Grinch especially. I think my life story kind of relates a lot to him. You know, I always feel like the black sheep. Writing the Grinch album was, again, spontaneous. And all these spontaneous ideas seem to be the most well received. You know, there's albums where I spent so much time, like years, writing. But the Grinch album was written within a few months. I just needed the instrumentals. As soon as I found the sound, all the lyrics just spewed out of me. And there's the Grinch.
Motherfucker, my eyes are red. I think my face is screaming cause I'm drinking downtown. Hookity bookity wookity wag. Drinking up buddies and put in my bag. Don't get mad, don't get sad. I be coming back with all your relatives and they're ready for dinner.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's meant to be a Christmas video for me saying Merry Christmas.
Anyway, let's stop playing around and get back to business.
I forgot what we were doing.
See, that's what I think the problem is with most musicians. They're all like coming to me, but how do you make it? You know, how do you become famous? When I see them, like the ones that hit me up for advice, they'll, you know, spend a couple of months doing music and then they'll quit. You got those ones that will spend years and they're just complaining no one's listening to them. That's why I feel like I had success, because before KidCrusher, I had a decade career where nobody was listening but me. It didn't matter to me. I was my own biggest fan. I still am. But I got no key to success. I just literally started running and people started following me. But I was running a long time by myself.
What's up, you crazy motherfuckers? I like long walks on the beach, talking to myself. Anything that's considered crazy, I'm the one that's doing it. And for those who haven't... Fucking terrorists. So I decided to change me outfit. How many motherfucking airplanes are gonna... Alright, stay tuned. Hellraiser! I'm fucking crazy.
Hi, I'm Rax. I think we're here to talk about Sean KidCrusher Montague. Well, since I've known him for a long time, and genuinely he's one of the most hardworking men in the scene that I've ever met, it's quite a pleasure to be here and to say some things about him. He's taken me on journeys that are amazing, that have culminated in meeting incredibly famous people. And yet he's always been humble. He's never, you know, looked to anyone else for anything. He's the one that's done the work. And I'll be honest, he's goddamn good at it. I mean, from tours with ICP to just basically arsing around at Ararat and visiting spooky places, it's been amazing. It's always been a trip with him. And I hope you love this documentary, and I hope you continue to listen to him, because he's got things that are in the works. He's weird like that. He's always looking forward, and I go like, oh, I'm kind of done now, but like, no, he's not done. He's not done. Anyway, from Rax to KidCrusher, love you, brother. You're good.
Take one.
It's very interesting. So
When Bobby was riding me?
I see. And I'll answer it in this way. For some reason, I've been sidetracked by a bird.
After the release of his first online album, KidCrusher was met with unexpected attention. Determined to evolve, he moved into a professional studio to record Tormented Mutation. He was gaining real momentum before the studio suddenly shut down. Forced back to a bare-bones home setup, he pushed ahead and released Black Circle Magic. It connected with fans, but the dip in audio quality frustrated a growing perfectionist. Support soon came from local rappers Trips and Nason of Blindside, who invested in his studio and started a label entitled Factum Records. With renewed resources, KidCrusher created his most controversial project yet, Cannibal Clown. Another major setback hit KidCrusher when both producers behind Tormented Mutation and Cannibal Clown abruptly retired. Although he created some beats himself, he was rarely satisfied with the results, preferring to collaborate with experienced producers. Without new instrumentals, he struggled to move forward. He spent months searching online, but producers within his niche were almost non-existent. Still, after sifting through countless dead ends, he uncovered a handful of standout tracks from several different creators. Those discoveries sparked a new direction, allowing him to assemble a mixtape-style release that would become his biggest project yet, the Metal Murder Mixtape. During this period, the single Killin' Shit caught the attention of Violent J from the Insane Clown Posse. They invited him to appear on the compilation Tunnel Runners, released through Psychopathic Records. This moment opened the floodgates.
First of all, I want to tell y'all about a compilation album that's coming out here at Psychopathic. It's coming out on Hatchet House. And the compilation album is called Tunnel Runners, Masters of the Wicked Shit. 14 of the greatest unsigned, hottest wicked shit out there. Each one of them putting their best foot forward with their hottest track.
Before Psychopathic hit me up to do Tunnel Runners, I don't think anybody really knows the amount of hustling I did online. Like, sure, like, you know, the first buzz I made online with a Dirty Fucking Murder was a blast and it was a quick spark of ignition, but I could barely fucking pay my rent. I couldn't afford the internet. I was on, I don't know if anybody understands this term now, was 56K dial-up internet. My core here of promoting was on MySpace. I owe a lot to MySpace. Every goddamn day, I would log into my 56K dial-up internet. I was on that computer all day, every day, all night, making music, promoting music, constantly. There's no doubt anybody who liked Psychopathic Records on MySpace in 2006 to 2008 that did not see my face. You know, I wasn't out there slinging tapes in public or doing gigs, or I couldn't leave Australia. I had no money, so I was online with 56K dial-up. You know, like, even though a Dirty Fucking Murder is dirty and raw, it's got the catchiest hook. Everyone's still rocking out to that song today. And then Meet the Monsters, you know. But my goal here was just to make music and get over there. Like, I needed to get over there so badly. And I feel like I was in a prison of hell. For some reason, that's how I felt about where I was. And I needed to get over there to get out of hell. Like, I thought that was heaven. That was Shangri-La over there. The gathering of the juggalos was my main mission.
When I try to sleep, I never sleep, and I'm calling. Wait for the nurse, cause I want more drugs, and I want company, and I want there to be something to take these thoughts from my brain, cause I bring pain, I am pain, I maintain, I fight death, and I justify and get rectified, cause I'm a gynecologist with an idle hand, with a mind of its own. You will kill me. I'm a self-helper. I won't see you. I'm a self-helper.
prior to Psychopathic hitting me up to make a song for them, like, making music was so much more simple for me, like, especially decades before that as well. Like, I would go into a room, I would drink, I would smoke, whatever I would do, and just, you know, get a beat or make a beat, and I would write that day, record that day. You know, now, you know, I would spend weeks to months on beats, weeks writing, and then a couple of days recording, like, new copies and mixing and mastering. I would write, record, release in one fucking day. Some of those albums you hear, they were done really quickly. I would just be having fun, and I wouldn't think too much about it. Once I had to do the song for Psychopathic Records, I started to think differently making music, you know, and now I knew they were listening to me. I needed to make this shit more, you know, perfect. So, like, I think I spent maybe 2 months writing a song for them, and I wrote about 4 or 5 songs. It's the way I work now, writing a song for Tunnel Runners, and I did it. And even when I submitted it, I didn't like it. I was just like, I'm still feel like I couldn't hit that note, because I was in between producers at the time, so I was fishing for new producers, and God, like, what do I do? To me, it still wasn't the song I wanted to do. They accepted it, they loved it, which is amazing. But then they wanted me to go to Gathering. And this is where my story gets fucking shit, and I hate fucking talking about it, but, you know, when anybody from that realm of the world, you know, wants to say they're a fan of me, I know the second question that comes out of their mouth is, oh, when are you coming to America? Well, there's a long story behind that.
What makes KidCrusher's journey so unique is the long and often isolated road he walked, a road that never seemed to bother him. He entertained himself without the expectation of an audience and without a cent of funding behind him. He poured what little he had into making music, never expecting anything in return, and doing it simply for the love of creation. After nearly a decade of honing his craft under different names, a spontaneous gimmick became his breakout identity. He built a vision board and piece by piece watched it come to life. When fans finally arrived, it meant the world to him. He often said, "I never expected anyone to give a shit about me. I was used to being the loser, so this was new to me, and I never took it for granted." On MySpace, he spent half his days replying to messages, connecting with anyone who reached out. Those early supporters motivated him and pushed him to keep delivering more. As his following grew, KidCrusher developed street teams across the world, each one amplifying his presence while he worked tirelessly to demand his brand for Psychopathic Records. When the label finally noticed, they invited him to perform at the Gathering of the Juggalos in America to promote his single from the Tunnel Runners compilation. He agreed instantly. There was only one problem. He had no funding and no idea how to make such a trip happen, but he still found a way. And just when it seemed like the beginning of something that would propel him to even greater heights, his journey hit a massive obstacle. What happened next became one of the most controversial moments of his entire career.
You on the KidCrusher DVD, and
yeah,
we
I'm
about
on the
to
KidCrusher DVD,
and we about to rock.
I better be on the KidCrusher DVD.
No, I'm gonna edit you out.
I think we're like morning 8:30, morning, and we're 2 hours away from liftoff. Next time you see us, we'll be like.
Thank God, we all bought our iPod.
We're here in Singapore on the second leg of our. Shit is rolling away by itself. Yeah.
Does its own job. Parks itself. Look at that. So beautiful.
We have had, we would have been filming a lot of what happens from Melbourne to Singapore, but Jesus Christ.
Was it a fucking harsh trip?
Number one, the seats were about this small. You're sitting in a seat this small for 7 hours. Every minute of that hour was an hour. We got to chill in Singapore in the fucking international airport for
until 6 o'clock.
6 a.m.
It is
almost just past 11.
10 past 11.
And we got here at 9:30.
So we have
Singapore's
a very long fucking wait
to go.
But it's worth it. The gathering of the juggalos, baby. We're at a Singapore bar right now.
After a little traveling, we're gonna have
Ashi.
Ashi. Cheers to the Ashi.
Yes.
Goes to the gathering of the
Let's go to the
motherfucking
gathering.
Juggalo 2008.
Fucking nice, motherfucker. We on tour. First tour ever. International flights, only private bar.
That means fuck Tam Bar at the moment.
Fuck Tam Bar, motherfuckers.
Chico and KidCrusher.
We got like the VIP corner and shit.
We're on a train. I can tell you this, that the United States didn't take us in. Kid is the fuck out. Kid just the fuck out, so we're on our way back home now, but we got a special stop first, so we thought we'd
9 hours stop.
Yeah, got a 9-hour stop, so we thought we'd take a little special place to a town centre, but we'll show you when we get there. Welcome to Amsterdam, motherfuckers. And we can go get
Just like meant to be going to a gathering, but here we are in Amsterdam, smoking marijuana illegally.
That fucking close to the gathering, coming all the way from South Australia. Right, turn around and take that long, shitty ass fucking flight back of pure stillness. Ugh. Just thinking about it makes me feel so stale.
Due to insufficient paperwork linked to a previous criminal conviction, KidCrusher was denied entry into the United States upon arrival. Border security rejected his entry and placed him on the first flight back to Australia. The conviction itself was minor and did not even appear on his criminal record, making the decision even more difficult to accept. The following year, he attempted to return to America to appear on another show hosted by Psychopathic Records. This time, he prepared a working visa before departing. However, due to the earlier failed entry, authorities informed him that a 5-year ban had been placed on his return to the United States. This left him unable to tour America until 2013. After the ban expired, repeated attempts to return were met with further legal complications and financial losses. Over time, the risk became too high, and no promoter was willing to support a potential return in case of another refusal. By 2023, he admitted he had lost hope of returning without the backing of higher-level management, something he had yet to secure. Following the 2008 deportation, he returned home exhausted, in debt, and deeply embarrassed.
People, this is somewhat a funny, stale story to some people, but I think about it every day. It's like traumatic, PT, post-traumatic stress or whatever. When people keep bringing it up, when you start to feel good and not thinking about it, someone's like, when you come to America? And then all those thoughts come back. I'm not saying don't ask because, I'm going to tell you what's happening, but I had a fine because I was pulled over in a car and there was a little bit of marijuana. I'm talking about the smallest amount, like freaking, I wouldn't say price-wise, but like that's much. Now, I was not arrested. I know this is different in America. This is why they got so pissed off with me and I got deported. In America, you get arrested for that. I'm pretty sure any amount of marijuana, but in South Australia, you don't. It's just they wrote a slip, they took it, and they gave me, I think it was a $200 fine. That's paid. I didn't have right paperwork showing that fine that I didn't know I had to bring that shit. No one told me. It was just a fine. I'd never been criminally convicted of anything or arrested, so I didn't think it mattered. I was like 19 at that point, and all this money's coming in from KidCrusher, and it's just going straight in the bin, basically. At the start there, as you see, like I just flew there and flew home and paid a loan off for a trip to basically come there and come back and do nothing. You know, at the end of the day, if it doesn't happen, I'm showing you, I've fucking tried. You know, the amount of stress and torment that's happened, it's unbelievable. At the time, you know, it's kind of like, fuck, you know, I was really defensive about it, but you know, I lose a lot of sleep over it.
It took months before he would return to work. In 2009, he made the decision to tour Australia for the first time to promote Tunnel Runners. It was during these shows that he realized his music, combined with the story of his deportation, had gained him a strong local following. Venues began to fill with new fans. At the time, he felt disconnected from an Australian fan base, as most of his early support had come from overseas. So the support came as a surprise. Motivated by this response, he focused on building momentum in Australia. During this period, he released several major projects, including a follow-up to Metal Murder mixtape, The Grinch, and a remastered edition of Black Circle Magic. While touring, he connected with one of his favorite Australian metal bands, the Berserker. A relationship formed with the band's drummer, who expressed interest in joining KidCrusher and reshaping the project into a metal act. Instead, KidCrusher proposed a new concept, an idea he had carried for years, but had never found the right people to bring to life. This would be the moment when Sean finally got to bring a metal band to life.
Years of KidCrusher. What a milestone. Congrats. I met KidCrusher back in, I think, 2008. He was telling me about a project that him and a mate were doing called Cavemen, and us wanted to be a part of that. So yeah, I would spend quite a few weekends down in Adelaide. He put a band together down there, so we would go out to Pooraka, to a rehearsal space, and write songs and rehearse songs, and we put an album together. So I think he had a lot of the songs already, and then a couple of the other guys contributed some more songs. I got the drums tracked up here, then we recorded everything in his home studio and put out Gondwana Land.
How's it going, guys? Matt here, also known as Zorg from Cavemen. So I actually first met Sean early 2000. A mate of mine, me and him were looking to jam with some people. Back in the day, he used to put flyers up in music shops with the tabs, with the phone number and all that sort of thing. First initial catch up went really well. I think just at the time though, me and my mate were looking to do something a little bit different. But you know, it's funny how things work and just how small the music scene is in Adelaide, because you know, fast forward 6 years, 7 years, we actually supported KidCrusher on his Tunnel Runner Australian tour. You know, chatting again about cavemen, and he expressed how he'd been chatting to Todd Hansen. That's kind of where it started, and then we just, you know, got other members and a lot of good funny tour stories and stuff. Yeah, we did the Australian tour in 2010, and then we decided to, you know, we were all playing in different bands and projects, so we decided after that, you know, we'll take a bit of a break, and just, yeah, the break was actually a lot longer than anticipated. And I think it was like 10 years or something like that. I have to say, working with Sean, you know, chilled guy, really professional, good musician, you know, he's definitely smashed it out, and he's worked hard to get to where he is.
He's just been a mainstay in the scene, very dedicated to his craft, his music, and it's awesome to have been a part of that journey through Caveman and just through our friendship. Happy 20 years. Cheers to 20 more years of killing shit.
Probably the most powerful production I have ever produced. If you're not into my metal side, still give it a minute, because like, it's not always serious. I mean, I'm fucking weird. It's weird. That wasn't me, that was Patricia.
I actually had the idea of Caveman before I started as KidCrusher. I was out shopping for wrestling masks to start some wrestling characters. I'd find a mask and then develop a character with that thing. I remember I was at this really cheap as chips kind of store, and there was these 3 masks, and they had these wigs embedded on them, and they looked like cavemen to me. For some reason, the first thing that popped in my head was, can you imagine those guys on stage with guitars and a drum kit? And I went to another friend of mine who were making skip music at the time, where it was just, you know, we'd get together, we'd just hit record, and there'd be no real thinking, it'd just be jamming, you know, as real like Tenacious D style jamming. It was fun. And most of the time it'd just be a joke. And it was, Caveman was just a joke. So we made a few songs and then decided to spin it off on its own thing. And we did that for a couple of years, and then we exploded online with a really raw, crappy music video. Nickelodeon were asking kids to send a video of themselves singing the SpongeBob theme song to win a prize. Now, I automatically just wanted to do it because I thought, you know, I'm not going to win this, but I just want to do it for fun.
Are you ready, kids? I can't hear you.
Get in the body for under the sea. Silver to yellow and porous to see. After cool out, there's something you wish. Come from the damn good motherfucker fish. SpongeBob, SquarePants, SpongeBob, SquarePants, SpongeBob, SquarePants, SpongeBob,
My friend's name was Peter Because, and like he was just an out of this world, unique person, someone I've never met anyone like him to this day. And every time we'd get together, didn't matter what was going on, we just started laughing. I don't think we actually really seriously ever put pen to paper and tried to write a serious song. We just, would spend time messing around making beats and then hit record and they're just doing weird, whatever the hell comes to our mind. I remember we wrote a song, a metal song, and it came to the lyrics and we just like, what are we gonna write about? And he picked up a chip packet and he said, let's just read out everything on the back of this chip packet. I feel extremely lucky to have been part of his life, and he passed away recently, and honestly, like, it's really left a big void in my life, especially musically. And I haven't really written or done much since he passed away. I haven't been able to adapt to the change that he's not around anymore.
Choking.
By now you may have noticed the dark cloud that has always seemed to follow KidCrusher. From birth, Sean was shaped by misfortune, an unlucky soul navigating unfavorable circumstances. What appears from the outside to be a life and career filled with success and celebration came at a heavy cost. Depression, debt, and loss cast long shadows over his journey. That pain became inseparable from the music. The screams you hear are often the echoes of damage carried within. As bands came and went over the years and touring remained limited, Sean stayed relentlessly consistent with KidCrusher. Year after year, he released new material. He even revived his high school metal band, Rectal Birth, reconnecting with the roots that first shaped him. In 2022, his band signed to the New York label Industrial Strength Records. After releasing an EP and beginning work on another KidCrusher album later that year, the sudden death of a close friend derailed everything. Still, he pushed forward. The KidCrusher album was released in 2023, but the toll was undeniable. Since then, Sean has stepped away from making music to recover. To this day, no new releases have followed. He has never announced his retirement, nor hinted at what comes next. This documentary exists not as a farewell, but as a love letter to the fans, a reflection on the journey, and a tribute to everyone who stood beside him along the way. Today, Sean remains in Adelaide. He started a company promoting movies, found love, married, and began a family. For the first time, he is genuinely happy. A life that finally pulled him out of the darkness and depression he lived with for so many years. Looking in from the outside, Sean's journey began with pain, an artist desperate to entertain while searching for a place to belong. Along the way, he worked with his idols, toured Australia, and reached fans across the world. His music amassed millions of online plays, hundreds of thousands of records sold, charting singles, and underground records broken. What once felt impossible became real through persistence alone. The final chapter of his story has not yet been written, but for those who have followed him, his message has always remained the same. There is always sunlight after a storm, even after a hurricane of pain. All you have to do is stay positive, and you will truly be unstoppable.